How you doing, guys? I was looking on Craigslist here and it made me think of something that I've been meaning to make a video about, and that is the barter, and especially bartering after a shit hit the fan scenario or any type of economic turbulence or collapse, and how impractical I think it is. And I just want to show you some examples of the type of stuff that happens in barter, even right now when liquidating things for money is still very possible, and just how kind of imperfect barter is as a system for getting what you want. So here I'm on Craigslist where they have a bustling barter center, probably way more people using this than you would ever find at any local barter town type situation. And also keep in mind that they have a lot more stuff than people would have in any sort of a turbulent situation. Like right now, people just have shitloads of stuff. It might not be something people want, but in a bad times, everyone's going to want the same things, and people are going to want to trade the stuff that they have that they don't want for the stuff that they do want, except everyone's going to want the same thing, so they're going to have a bunch of shit that they don't want and no way to get rid of it. And I just brought up some things here. Here we go. What's this one? Ceramic tile for a spare car. I will trade labor of installing your tile for a running car. I have 20 years experience, blah, blah, blah. See, this is the problem with barter, is that everyone has a specific thing that they're trying to get rid of, and they're only willing to trade for what they want, but they only have certain things that they can give up for. Like this guy, he wants a car. Okay, that alone limits the field. If you want a car, even if you're willing to buy one, you're probably not going to find a lot of options of exactly what you're looking for. And now he's not even able to pay with cash. He wants to pay with tile labor. So how many people, think of like a Venn diagram with overlapping circles, how many people are going to fit in the category of having a spare, not only having a spare car that they're willing to sell or get rid of, but having one that they're willing to sell or get rid of for tile service, and it has to be a car that this guy's willing to take in exchange for that. So it's just, the chances of something deal like this lining up and actually happening are so minuscule that it's just, you have to have a currency system or some kind of value set to where you can trade for either, you know, some kind of money, whether it's dollars right now, or the currency can be all sorts of things, but there has to be something in place. You can't just use direct barter because it's just too impractical. Here's another example. I have a mini refrigerator, also have a like new queen size bed, want a laptop. I also need a vacuum. Okay, so he's got a fridge and a bed, wants a laptop or a vacuum. Again, think of the overlapping circumstances here. Not only do they have to have people in each category, someone who has a laptop to get rid of and wants a bed, but it has to be the right type of laptop for this guy and the right type of bed for this guy. It's just the chances of these things happening the way that they're laid out here are practically impossible. You have to have money to set the value of these things. Here's another one. Ford rims with a spare. Pulled him off a full-size Bronco. He wants something with an engine, like a dirt bike or four-wheeler. Ain't gotta be pretty, just needs to run. At least he's a little less specific. And to be fair, there are a lot on here that said they'll trade of anything of equal value, but that's my whole point, is when you have something to set the value, and right now they're using dollars, it makes it a lot easier because people know they could at least liquidate it for that amount if they don't exactly need it, or it at least makes them know that it's worth the same amount. If you're in a like a collapse type situation, or really any other situation where you wouldn't have the value set by some sort of currency, this becomes nearly impossible. It has to be literally what you want, not just something you think is quote unquote worth the same amount, because how would you know? If it's not worth that amount to you, then it's going to be useless, even if, you know, on a perfectly free market it may be worth a lot more. But you'll be insulated from that in some sort of collapse scenario. What will be worth things to you, what will be worth it to you is only the stuff that you need. Here we go. This guy's got a boat. He wants a Harley or a nice cruiser. So motorcycle for a boat. Again, I mean, how many people want this specific boat and are willing to give their Harley or cruiser, and it has to be one that he likes? It's just not practical, guys. I mean, this is not, don't rely on barter. Sure, stuff that's worthwhile to have in a collapse scenario will be things that people want to probably trade you for, but what are they going to try to trade you for? Stuff that they don't want, which is probably stuff that you don't want. So if you're going to be hoarding stuff that you think will be worthwhile in a collapse scenario, hoard it for yourself, and then you could always barter with that stuff anyway, because it'll be stuff that everyone needs, like food and water and supplies. But I would never hoard things specifically for the bartering them, because why bother? Why take up space and money storing stuff that you don't necessarily think you're going to need when you can do it with stuff that you know you're going to need and will probably be just as valuable, like food and stuff like that. So keep that in mind, and don't plan on relying on a pure barter system because they don't really work very well. They need currency.